On Friday, the sun rose, Virat Kohli got out of bed, hopefully he brushed his teeth, ate his breakfast and then went on and scored 100 in an ODI chase. That's what it's become like for Kohli. Routine. After 200s in chases in the ODI series against South Africa, he's taken his total to 21, 4 more than anyone else. When you consider that 19 of those have come in wins, there's little arguing that he is the greatest chaser in the history of the one-day game. But what makes a great chaser? Well, there are different types of them. First, there's the early dasher. This was a style popularized by the Sri Lankan opener Sanath Jayasuriya in the 1996 World Cup. The idea is to begin hitting from the very first over, make use of the fielding restrictions and ensure your side is ahead of the required rate by the 15th over to put pressure on the fielding team. Sachin Tendulkar was another batsman who often took this approach. A good example is India's game against Pakistan in the 2003 World Cup. Chasing 274, Tendulkar smacked Shoaib Akhtar for 2 fours and a 6 in just the second over and was already on 68 when the 15th over ended. That meant that even though India lost wickets in the middle, they still got home at a canter. Then there is the accumulator, who rotates the strike, keeps his side in the game and holds his nerve at the end. Javed Miandad was good at this and Australia's Michael Bevan was brilliant at it. But it was MS Dhoni who made it an art form. Dhoni's style of chasing should really be called the nail-biter, because he's won India games in the very last over a whopping 8 times. And this is deliberate. He has said that he intentionally takes a game into the last over because when both bowler and batsman are under pressure, he backs himself to handle it better. Often, fans will be bewildered as to why he is still taking his time as the asking rate rises, but he will invariably haul the score down with big hits. Dhoni scores at less than a run a ball in chases right up till the end of the 45th over, but his strike rate in the last 5 overs is nearly 150. Then there's the blitzer, who comes in late and goes hard right from the off. Lance Klusener is the most memorable of this kind. In the 1999 World Cup, his strike rate between overs 40 and 50 in chases was 173.13, unthinkably high for the time. What makes Virat Kohli stand out is that his way of chasing uses elements of each of these styles, but is completely unique. He doesn't dash early, he usually takes 15 to 20 balls to get his eye in, but he does not accumulate and leave it late either. In fact, he's taken India all the way home 27 times in his career, but he's not needed to play a single delivery in the final over. Remember when India needed 360 to beat Australia in Jaipur in 2013? Kohli incredibly got them there inside 44 overs. Even when India needed 321 in just 40 overs to keep themselves alive in the 2012 Commonwealth Bank Series, an impossible looking task, Kohli not only did it, but did it with 3 overs to spare. How does he achieve this? Once said, Kohli doesn't wait for the last 10 or even the last 5 overs. He scores at a strike rate of almost 120 between overs 30 and 40 in chases, which is much faster than even AB de Villiers, the only other batsman who has a somewhat similar strategy while chasing. In the last 10, Kohli goes even harder, scoring at an incredible strike rate of 166, which is head and shoulders above all his peers. Kohli is a big believer in momentum and capitalizing when he thinks a bowler is frustrated. He has said that he watches the body language of a team and makes them pay when they are down. So, if he gets a couple of 4s away of someone, as he did against Bonnie Morkel in the last ODI, he'll go on a boundary blitz regardless of whether it's the 9th over, the 31st or the 48th. And that's why his method of chasing doesn't belong in any particular category, but should simply be called the Kohli.